What's up, guys? I'm John Borba. I'm here with Brandon Hunt.
Hey.
We are here today to talk about the latest episode of Walking Dead, The King, the Widow, and Rick.
Ah, the three leaders.
Yes. I don't know why everyone is naked.
Not everyone's naked. Listen.
Trash people getting a lot of people naked.
Hey, it might be hot in that heap there.
That's true.
They're surrounded by lots of garbage bags.
A heap of naked hot.
Sometimes they like to craft when they're naked-ish.
All right. So in this episode, a whole bunch didn't happen, but a whole bunch of things started to build.
Yeah.
Which is sort of one of my issues with what's been going on with the season. There's a lot of simmering, and there's not a lot of
There's so
cooking.
much simmering. Yeah. They're cooking. It's cooking a little bit. It's just gonna take some time.
I liked a lot of elements to it. I think that there were a lot of good, like, post-apocalyptic things, like the giant speaker car that was straight out of Mad Max that Negan was gonna use to pull walkers away from the compound. I think that was really smart and an interesting little side thing, and it gave Rosita and Michonne something to do because they've been sitting around for a long time.
Right.
But the biggest thing that I feel like was the takeaway from the episode is that all of these moral dilemmas and disagreements that everyone has are kind of disintegrating this force that is supposed to overtake Negan.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of little mini meals cooking within the big pot that are simmering faster to a boil than the big picture that we're trying to put out there on the table, right? If you like my analogies. But yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't happy. It's seemingly become this sort of work environment now for Rick's group, at least, where they've said that a lot in this episode. We have a lot of work to do, right? And it seems like Daryl is just not having he's not having it. He's ready to do his thing. Michonne and Rosita are ready to do their thing, and they sort of come together to be like, yeah, we don't like Boss Man either right now.
And well, it's kind of like Daryl is building this little segment within Rick's group, strangely enough, with Rick's love interest,
right?
That are going against what Rick's intention is, which is to create seemingly a better world.
Right.
And I think Rick and Jesus are the two pillars of kind of whatever that is, and Maggie is wavering on that fence of whichever way she's gonna go. At the end of the episode, she kind of leans a little bit more towards the let's just kill all these dudes. But
yeah, she's sort of it seems like she's becoming kind of a Rick herself.
Yeah. Which is true to the comics.
Yeah, sure. You know, she's trying to be headstrong and a leader and just in her actions, but you can tell she totally wanted to kill that long-haired dude.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't? But, you know, she's riding that line. She's definitely experiencing what it takes to be a leader in that environment, and it's becoming clear that she is, you know, riding the same wavelength that Rick is riding. He's probably definitely more progressed than she is at this point, but I feel like they're on the same path, whereas Daryl he's been butting heads with, well, he started butting heads literally last episode, and Michonne and Rick have been butting heads for a while now about what to do. You know, it seems that Rick wants to bide his time, get all the chess pieces in the right order for the strike, and Michonne's sort of like, you know, sure, that works, but we need to strike now. We need to make our moves now. We make it a fast chess game. And Rick's like, no, we do need to do the right way, the long haul. We need to win big.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where Michonne's character has been the whole time. She's always been like, let's just cut off the head off the snake and solve this problem now, which is what Daryl is doing. And I think Daryl was given the easy out with this crate full of dynamite, and he wants to get a bunch of friends together to go be vengeant. And I think
vengeant.
The issue with that is that you have a couple people who are kind of sitting on the edge. You have Ezekiel who has fallen off the table, and you're waiting to see what his next play is. Yeah. And then you have Carol, who is pushing things to go Rick's way, but she doesn't have the option of whatever Daryl and Michonne's solution is.
Carol's the outlier in that she's sort of experienced the extremes in both situations, where she's seen so much horrible stuff and then experienced just a lull in doing anything, that I think she sort of lives on the outer rim of what her emotional spectrum is and is trying to make it back to center, and she has a lot of trouble doing it. And she's seeing Ezekiel, she always gets pushed. She always gets pushed by characters who are sort of close to where she wants to be. And she's seeing Ezekiel, who's just given up. And she's like, come on, dude, we gotta do this. And then before she had Ezekiel come to her, and she had Daryl come to her, she had Morgan come to her and be like, you need to not be in this rut. You need to come out and fight with us. So for Carol, she's probably like, hey, I'm ready. Where the heck are you guys?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like she had a nice emotional moment. It felt a little forced to me. I felt like there wasn't enough connection before she had, broke into tears, which she's not done very many times in the show. So that's why it was such an important moment for her that I felt like was not developed enough. Because her and Ezekiel have this relationship, but they don't interact on an emotional level very often. Mm-hmm. It's usually like a let's get work done type of thing. But you mentioned one of the characters that I'm really excited to see what they do with. This episode did not answer that question, and I think the omission of Morgan in this episode is a very purposeful thing. I think that Morgan is going to be the person that, like, maybe we don't see Daryl and Tara and all of them go as far as they think they are willing to go.
Right.
I think that they might get there and be like, we can't do this, Rick is right, human life is important, blah, blah, blah. And Morgan is just such a broken person at this point that he's like, I'll do it. I'll carry the torch across the finish line and blow this MFer up.
He's gonna, I'm with you. I think he's gonna break in a sense and be the one to do it, because he's sort of sat on the sidelines to try and be a good person. Something's got to happen to him though, or he's got to see something that will push him to the breaking point. But I think that's a very good, it's a very good prediction. I think Father Gabriel might be in that same position as well. Last week he was kind of walking through the zombies like, ew, gross, sick, with Negan. He's probably going to be on a long journey with Negan at the camp now. But I think he seems a little bit more prepared to deal with the crap that they have to go through in order to do what he needs to do, but we'll see.
I genuinely think he has a lesson to learn from Negan.
Sure.
I think that's why he's there. I think he is looking for a way to be this holy man in hell. I think that he's looking for a way to be like, how do I make the right choice because all my choices are bad?
Right.
And I think that he needs Negan to kind of push him into that, like, I need to try to analyze the situation and make the best bad choice.
Right.
So while there wasn't a lot, I felt like that came out of this Walking Dead that we can put down on paper and say this thing happened.
Sure.
I felt like there were a lot of good character moments, and I felt like the following 2 episodes have a lot of potential to really just come to a head and hopefully be the confrontation that we're waiting for.
Yeah.
I think holding off until the end of the season is going to contribute to more fan displeasure and plummeting ratings.
Totally.
And I think that we need to get somewhere and pick up the pace.
Yeah, I think these final 2 episodes leading up to the mid-season finale are those ones that are gonna be gangbusters. I think next episode is gonna reveal something, or something's gonna happen that sets off the whole war.
Maybe whatever happens.
War.
Maybe
right?
what happens with the trash people.
Right. I think there's all these fuses lit right now, and they're going and they're moving fast. The bomb's gonna go off next episode, and then episode 8 is gonna be the big explosion, and hopefully leading up to what we predict will be, spoilers, a time jump. We'll see. Judge
2
Judy.
years.
Judge Judy gif.
All right, well, let us know what you think in the comments below, and for everything Walking Dead, stick with IGN.
For Shiva.